bad. You let the rest of the red flags go as you question your own sanity. By the time the first blow hits your body, you've been broken down and hardly question whether you deserve it or not. And you stop trusting in your own intuition. This is the face of the mental anguish of abuse. And to tell you something, this is horrifying. Now, the statistics tell part of the story, but let's not become desensitized to the numbers, because we cannot accept that it's just another day and another statistic and then move on. Every 3 hours, a woman is murdered in this country. That means 11 women every day. That's 74 women butchered in a week. In KwaZulu-Natal alone, the gender-based violence figures continue to rise. For the second quarter of 2024, Inanda and Umlazi police stations led the nation in reported rape cases. And KwaZulu-Natal is only second to Gauteng in the number of rapes occurring on educational premises. These are children that are being sexually assaulted. The fact that there's even a category of offense like this, to quote, is such an indictment. And it's a blight on our humanity as a country. But let's dig deeper into the root causes. Inequality rooted in a patriarchal system lies at the heart of the crisis. Patriarchy perpetuates the belief that men hold dominion over women, and it manifests itself in both overt and very insidious ways. And it's so insidious that it's the reason why women are still told to change their behavior, dress differently, or avoid certain places to protect themselves, as if we are the problem. The glaring question is, why must women take responsibility for how grown men conduct themselves? Really, I do believe that enough is enough. The causes of gender-based violence are rooted in the behavior of abusive men, and this is where the interventions need to take place. Stop telling women, please, not to wear short dresses. Our attire is not your business, and where your eyes and where your hands go should be your only preoccupation. This is why the programs mentioned by the Honourable Premier Ntuli that address toxic masculinity are so critical. The No Excuse campaign is driven by men in partnership with the South African breweries and is a powerful step in confronting these toxic behaviors. This campaign challenges the psyche of men and calls them to take responsibility, because to truly combat the crisis, we need men to be part of the solution and not the problem. Traditional leaders also play a very important role in leading their communities, and this is another program being run by the province. Many are stepping up to challenge outdated cultural norms and to educate their constituents on the importance of gender equality. By integrating these values into the fabric of our communities, we can begin to rebuild the moral fabric of our society that seems to have frankly unraveled. But awareness and education alone are not enough. Action must follow. That's why the program and the work of the Provincial GBV Council and Rapid Response Teams mentioned by the Honourable Ntuli in over 300 wards is so important. These Rapid Response Teams provide urgent response to incidents of GBV at a community level, and they must be rolled out as swiftly as possible in more communities. But we also have to break the stigma around reporting GBV, otherwise these programs just become hollow. Unfortunately, the need is far greater than the resources currently available. Shelters are a lifeline for victims, offering safety and support. In KwaZulu-Natal, 2,885 victims accessed shelters last year. While this is a step forward, it's just not enough. We must expand these safe spaces and ensure that no woman will ever be turned away in their time of need. For some women, this is a case between life and death. Economic empowerment is also another critical piece of the puzzle. When women have access to education, employment, and resources, they are less vulnerable to abuse and better equipped to escape. Economic independence isn't just about survival. It's about dignity, it's about choice, and it's the power to break free from cycles of violence, including generational violence. Even global efforts to combat climate change recognize actually the number one resource we can use to build resilient communities. Despite these initiatives, systemic failures still remain. The absence of forensic laboratories in KwaZulu-Natal, for instance, has been a significant barrier to justice. Victims are left waiting for years for evidence to be processed, allowing perpetrators to walk scot-free. The Provincial Premier's commitment to fast-track the establishment of a forensic lab is a long overdue step, and now we must ensure that it's delivered. Let us also confront the reality of our police stations. Inanda, Umlazi, and Plesisla rank among the highest nationally for reported rape cases, with Plesisla seeing an alarming 64.5% increases. These stations should be safe havens for victims, but instead they've become symbols of failure for the protection of women and children. We must demand better from our law enforcement